Hey everybody, this is Kyle and welcome again to another episode of Visually Speaking. I am here today with
Amber from Amber Massages here in Apex.
And today we're going to be talking all about Amber and her massage therapy business. Amber, it is a pleasure getting to meet you today.
Thank you.
It is great to learn about massage therapy and everything across that whole aspect. So to start us off, why don't you give our viewers a brief intro about yourself?
Okay, well, I, of course, am Amber. I will be 37 years old next month. I started massage therapy almost 17 years ago in South Carolina. I went to school in South Carolina. So Southeastern School of Neuromuscular Massage in Columbia, South Carolina is where I'm from.
Okay.
And then I went to school there and then moved to Germany shortly afterward. I was a military spouse, so I moved there to the NATO base. And I started my first business there. I started working with the military, with the veterans with PTSD and the ones who are working with the PT tests, and as well as the people who were retired from the military. So with the NATO base, it's really cool because you get to work with Estonians, Canadians, you get to work with people from, I don't know, just England, everywhere. So it's quite cool to see how, they take care of themselves versus the United States.
That's really cool. So, what are the key differences between all of them in the United States?
I primarily think that the United States, they don't see massage therapy as a, what's the word I would use? They don't see it as preventative care. They see it as just a luxury. All the other countries, I know that they're quite a bit older than us, but they see massage therapy as preventative care. That's the first step before you go to PT. That's the first step before you go to a surgery, or they prescribe like all sorts of medicines. They will go to massage therapy first to see if we can fix the issue, which usually we can fix a muscular issue, or a chiropractor can fix an issue with a nerve or a bone. And then if that can't be fixed that way, if it's bone on bone, then they will go towards a doctor to get a surgery.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you started Nita Solutions in Germany.
Needed relaxation.
Needed relaxation.
In Germany.
In Germany.
Yes.
What came about the creation of that?
The person who was in charge of overseeing us and the family that was in charge of getting us acclimated to Germany, I asked her to help me come up with a name, and she just said Needed Relaxation. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep that. Her name was Anna Delk, so she is very dear to my heart. Thank you for helping me with that name. After that, I actually started working with the military in the Netherlands, not actually Germany. I went across the border to the Netherlands. I lived in the 3-country border, so it was near the Germany border, Netherlands border, as well as the Belgium border.
How were they?
So it's amazing. I plan on moving back eventually, if no one knows that.
They're going to know now.
Yeah, you'll know now. I plan on moving back to Germany. On my Facebook page, I have like all of my German, friends and everything that's still on there. But I also started a business inside of my basement in Germany. So this is why I always have my business at my house. I started there quite a long time ago. It's very common in Europe to have your business at your own home. So there they have like 3-story houses, and most everyone has a basement. So I started there. There was a gigantic room, which was enough for about 2-3 massage tables.
Yeah.
So you can do couples massage and everything. And at that time, my ex-husband was actually a massage therapist as well. So we would do couples massages.
Cool.
And yeah. So whenever my daughter would take a nap, or she was at German kindergarten, would actually do massages and work on the military spouses, the military active duty, and then all of the people who found me, because I actually had like a sticker on my car, so people on the economy who had nothing to do with the military could find me as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah.
So can you give us a rundown on what started massage therapy in itself?
Oh, for me, yes.
Yeah.
So this is something that I have known that I was supposed to do for, oh my goodness, how old am I now? I'm almost 37. So when I was 15, I actually had a dream that I was supposed to be a massage therapist. slash chiropractor. I really want to be a chiropractor. But now that I have a chiropractic friend, his name is Dr. Christian, I'm going to leave all of that to him.
Okay.
I'll talk about him later. It's very hard on the body. So I just know that I am supposed to be the massage therapist part of that partnership. I just had a dream about it, and it would just never leave me. When I was in church with my mom, I would sit there and massage her hands during church, and I think she hated it. Like, why are you always touching me? But I just knew I was always meant to fix people. Just like my mom, I'm meant to help people physically, mentally, and spiritually. Like, I am a hyper. I am meant to encourage people. That's my lot in life, and I absolutely love it.
Can you tell us a little bit about the dream itself? Do you remember the dream?
No, I don't remember the dream. I just know that that's what I was supposed to do, and
now you're here.
I've never done anything else. I think I went to school for business management.
Okay.
And I hate math, so that didn't go very well.
I hate math too.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate math.
So when my daughter was actually 3 months old, and she just turned 17 on Monday.
Happy late birthday.
Yes, so she just turned 17. I actually went to massage school. It's an hour away.
Okay.
It's a night school. Started at 5 o'clock. I think it went until 11 p.m. So it was quite difficult, especially when you have a new baby, but I went through it. And then about 3 months after we graduated and my daughter had just turned 1, 2 days later, we were off to Germany, off to Europe.
Really? Just like that?
Yeah,
Wow.
just like that. Yeah.
Cool. So, and now it's been 22 years.
22, almost 17.
Almost 17 years.
Almost 17. Yeah, I'm not going to say 22 now because I know my fingers will be like.
Well, since your dream at 15 is now 22 years. What has been like your biggest takeaway so far up to this point?
As in what? You have to be more specific.
As a massage therapist. Because you're saying you're only focusing on massage therapy right now.
I am only focusing on massage therapy. So I'm not going to say biggest takeaway, but I can actually tell you what my ultimate goal is.
Okay, let's do that.
My ultimate goal is to open a recovery clinic for veterans active duty. After being a military wife, I've seen how hard the military life can be. And how it really just messes with their immune system, how it messes with their nervous systems. I mean, they have really bad dreams, really bad PTSD. So I would like to have a complete wellness center that has water, it has a water aerobics, it has the water therapy. It also has the PT, chiropractic, massage therapy, but I want it to be all free for them. I want to get grants. I want everything to be free for them because they deserve it.
That would be a very amazing.
Yeah.
I know my dad is also he was military. He's retired.
Yeah, what branch?
Army.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he would highly appreciate that.
Yeah. Did he get like 100% disability?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
He wouldn't stop moving.
Okay.
He should be, but
maybe you should talk to him about trying to get it retro.
Someone else will probably have to have that conversation.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about it. So I feel like all the people who've done all the road marches, and Army is one of the branches that has to do a lot of road marches. So they have issues with their feet. And if he is native to North Carolina, usually they have paratrooper status, and they've jumped out of a plane a lot. So they have usually issues with their knees as well, and lower back. Okay.
I know he's actually a South Carolina native.
Oh, wow. Where?
Yeah, it's Somerton.
Okay.
Somerton. It is Somerton.
Right.
It's either Somerton or Sumter. I always get one of those two mixed up.
Sumter, South Carolina. There is a Somerton, but I am from Sumter. That is just where I just visited my dad. I just told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just left Sumter, South Carolina. I'm from near where Shaw Air Force Base is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a little close world.
Yeah.
Close world.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. So I do have some already listed questions. Of course, this is generic. It's going to be very generic, but it's just a little bit of insight about you. So let's go ahead and get started with one of them. Can you walk us through the process from serving. Well, you kind of already walked me through the process of from not serving in the military, but
Being contracted.
contracted and aiding the military to going into massage therapy. What are some of the challenges that comes with being a massage therapist that outsiders wouldn't actually know about?
I would probably go back to, I think it was a comment that I made to the producer about the in-home massages that, he gets. Arthritis. So just say by the time I'm 50, I will have done massage therapy for about 30 years.
Right.
Can you imagine the mayhem that it's going to wreak on my body? So while I'm giving you very deep tissue, I'm working on you, I am giving myself arthritis. I am kind of sacrificing myself for that person, especially if they like really, really deep pressure.
Yeah.
That just means my career's not going to last as long. I enjoy it. This is what I've meant to do. So I've never broken anything. I haven't hurt anything so far. Like my thumb's been backwards, which is weird. Most people can't say that. But with that being said, that means I have to use double the amount of pressure because just to use this pressure, I have to push even harder than most massage therapists.
Really?
So my body's not going to last as long as I would like, or at least my hands, but I try to stay active to counter that and get, chiropractic adjustments. That helps a lot. But he tells me that my wrists are out, my ankles are out, usually my left shoulder is out. This is a weekly thing. So
just from massaging other people?
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So a question that I had before we got started was how deep into studying medicine for a massage therapist that you have to do in order to assist your clients?
So technically we are not medical quite yet. We work with a lot of medical staff such as massage therapists, physical therapists, chiropractors, and some occupational therapists, as well as, what's the other doctor I'm thinking of? Orthopedic surgeons. We should be a little bit higher up there, and we are getting a little further, but we start with PT. We start with anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. We also have to learn a lot about pathology. This is one thing I was telling my mom about how sometimes you need to wear gloves. You have to be able to distinguish between someone who has psoriasis and someone who has maybe contact dermatitis. So we have to learn all of these things. Each type of massage comes with a contraindication. So if you would like hot stones massage and you have diabetes, we have to ask these questions because you're not allowed to get a hot stones massage.
Really?
So,
why is that?
Because you already have quite a different blood flow, and it's just easier to burn you. So it's just different for each person.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, quite a few things. And there's quite a few people who have like varicose veins as well. They cannot get hot stones massage. And I do something called a barefoot massage. So it's similar to ashiatsu. I walk on people's backs, which you might see today. And yes. And so people with diabetes or varicose veins, they cannot get that massage.
Oh.
Yeah. So we go in depth from deep tissue, Swedish. There's hundreds of modalities of massages. So we go through most of these in school. The rest of them you can go to like continuing education classes and then find out like all of the contraindications, indications, and just the specific niches for that massage.
Okay. And you work closer with chiropractors?
Chiropractors and physical therapists. I work with rehabilitation.
Do you, in a way, adopt some of the practices that they do into yours?
Absolutely. So usually the people that we have in common or the clients that I want the chiropractor or the physical therapist to see, I'll have them sign a release form. So then I can talk to the chiropractor and then we can actually come up with a plan together. Nice. So they might call and say, okay, I want that client to get extra work on specific muscle, and that will help the chiropractor be able to loosen up a joint, which is going to help the client further in their progression.
How often does that happen?
Weekly.
Weekly?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool though.
Yeah.
I like that. It's cool to see. I guess I kind of view you as a doctor when you work with other doctors. I mean, because you are in a way a doctor.
Can't say that. Not a doctor. Not a doctor. We cannot say that.
Okay, well, I guess blurt that out. Blurt that out, I guess.
Okay.
But it's cool to see you guys intertwine with each other to help the client out. It's not just like you just come see, they come see you exclusively, or they come see other people exclusively. It's kind of cool to see other professionals piggy back and forth off of each other.
I like that you said that, because there is a rivalry going between physical therapists and chiropractors.
For real?
There is.
Why?
So, and massage therapists are the people that are in between. For some reason, I think a lot of PTs think that chiropractors are quite Eastern medicine and they're woo-woo, as they say. But honestly, each one of us has our own part to play. Massage therapists break down muscles, physical therapists build up muscles, and chiropractors are there for joints, bones, as well as the nervous system. So there are quite a few things that the chiropractor can do that the physical therapist can do, and vice versa. But they are just kind of in competition with each other. So I wish they would get along together and work with each other, because then the client can graduate faster or finish their treatment faster. And I mean, it would aid them a lot better if they work together.
Oh. So in your personal opinion, what do you think started this rivalry?
I don't know. I think they've been around, I'm not going to say longer than massage therapists, especially of Eastern medicine, because massage therapists have been around all the way back to China, right? And Indian massage. But I have no idea. I just think it comes from them not talking to each other, or them not appreciating each other, not appreciating what each person or each doctorate has to offer, honestly.
So as a massage therapist, how many other cultural practices do you incorporate into your
cultural? So I am straight fixer. I'm a straight fixer, I have to say.
Okay.
Like, I went to school, so I know all about Asian modalities, which I do Gua Sha, which that is Asian. I know about the meridians, which is an Indian practice as well. But I don't particularly do meridians and polarity or Ayurveda in my practice. I specifically do deep tissue. I'm working on the knot.
Just deep tissue.
There's different things. Reflexology is one thing that people do. It works on the feet, and each point on the foot corresponds with different points of the body, like different organs, things like that.
Really?
Yes. But I'm like, okay, if you have an issue with your muscle, I'm going to stick an elbow in that one knot right there.
So does deep tissue also, in a way, translate into things like stress?
Yes.
How so does that work?
So you have to think about it. If you're a really good massage therapist, every time you see your client, you're going to ask them what they've been up to. I don't care whether you've been camping, whether you've been in a car for a really long time. I need to know all of these things, whether you stubbed your toe. All of that goes back to, all of that goes back to the issues that you're going to be having. So say you are a computer worker and you work on computers all day. There are specific muscles that are going to be a problem. Say your traps or your rhomboids or your levator scapula is going to be a problem, because those are just, that's particular, what's the word I'm going to use? Posture that you're using when you're working on the computer day in, day out.
So when I was in grade school, it started in grade school. It's something I picked up on because I told you before, I ran track all 4 years. But not even just that, but if I play basketball, if I lift weights, or if I do an excessive amount of walking or running, I would feel like, I guess, tight is the word, the best way to say it. It would be
Tension.
tight. So yeah, a lot of tension, particularly right here.
Your SI joint.
The SI joint.
Yes.
What does that mean, and what would, from your knowledge and expertise, what would be the best way to, I guess, treat that?
So I'm not a doctor, but
no, you're not a doctor.
My expertise would tell me. You also told me that you ran track quite a bit. So the muscle that the joint that you were having issues with was your SI joint.
Okay.
So you have to remember when you're running, you have a lot of issues with your hip flexor here in the front. And then there's a muscle called the piriformis muscle, which is in your gluteal area, and that's called the runner's muscle. So when that muscle is really, really tight, it radiates to your SI joint. And then your SI joint radiates all the way, because remember, that's the attachment site for the QL that we were talking about earlier. And it goes all the way up to the mid back. So what I would do, yes. So everything correlates to everything.
I find that so interesting how, because I even learned about that with my late grandfather. He will always talk to us about how he has problems in his foot.
Yes.
But the problem is, like, it's not actually in his foot; it's up here in his back. But it's
Are
it's
you
like
sure?
I know it's not really the back, but I'm just using that as an example because I don't remember exactly where it is.
Yeah.
But I do remember because he always used to tell me about he's always hurting in his foot. But from what I learned, it's not the foot; it's somewhere else. It's just translating in his brain to his foot.
So there's a couple things that can happen.
Okay.
So either it's coming from your back, and then your hip is out. And then from there, you're having all these issues that's going to your foot. So your gait is off, and then you're walking on your foot incorrectly, which that can have issues, and it can cause issues with your gastrocnemius, which is your calf, and then come all the way out to your gastrocnemius, and your soleus goes to the base of your calcaneus, which is your heel. So that can cause issues, and then you can have plantar fasciitis, which I'm sure you've heard of that one before. It's like inflammation of the fascia of your foot, and it can cause horrible pain. So it's either it goes down or it can go up. So if it starts at your foot, then it can go all the way up the same way. And then if you're not walking correctly, which means your knee is not going to be in the right spot.
Yeah.
Which means your hip is not going to be in the right spot. Which means that your back is not going to be in the right spot. And then it's going to work its way all the way up.
Sounds like a field day for you.
Yeah, I love it.
And you love that.
Yeah, that's my life, my job.
That's awesome.
I can see it. Like, I go to the mall at this point just to watch people. I can see it. Like, I just want to walk up to them and say, like, oh, well, you need a back massage on the right side of the spot. You have carpal tunnel. You have this. I'm not a doctor, by the way, but I can still see it.
That's really cool. Yeah. So let's use that as an example, right? Let's say a client comes in. They're saying, hey, I have a problem with my foot, but you can tell it's trailing in different ways. Where do you start at the foot as what the client says, or do you go straight to the root of it, or like how? So what is your process when they come in and they tell you what's going on?
Being a good massage therapist, you have to do 50% of what the client wants, 50% of what you know is the issue. Right? And then sometimes if the chiropractor says I have to do something, then I put that in there as well. It depends on where the referral comes from. So say they're having lower back issues. I usually have a sequence where I start with the shoulders. So because you have lower back issues doesn't mean that your shoulder is not a problem. There's a muscle here that's called the lat that wraps around your arm, and then it goes all the way down to the SI joint that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I would start there first and then work my way down to, like, if they have plantar fasciitis or their foot is hurting, something like that. So usually always start at the shoulders and then work my way down. Like, some people have lots of issues with their hips. I will work primarily there, but I will usually start with the shoulders. Sometimes certain muscles can cause another muscle. Like I said earlier, there's protagonist and synergetic. Okay. They work together, they work against. And that is needed, so you'll actually have the motions, because if you have the synergetic, you have to have the other ones that are working against you so you don't fall over. So, yes. So you have all these muscles working in the front right now because I'm leaning forward and they're getting tight. But the ones in the back are working against you, so they're tightening so I don't fall over on the floor.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm understanding.
Yeah, so that's how it works. I typically start like at the top of the shoulders.
Yeah.
That's where I start to see whether there's any tension there. Sometimes when you're working on muscles, the other muscle on the opposite side can actually cause tension to one side. So say that you're stepping forward on your right side. That's going to cause your lower back on your left to tighten because it's doing the opposite motion.
Right.
So you might feel all of these issues on the left side, but really it's going to be here. And the client is only going to feel the left side. And I'm saying, okay, well, this is the problem. And they don't believe me. So I'm going to work on the other side first and then do the part that I want to work on, because I know that's not the issue, but I have to, listen to them too.
Have you ever had an experience where that was where that was the case, but instead of joining straight into what they were saying, it's like, let me just
it happens
tap
all
the
the
part.
time. All the time,
and
until they trust you.
Oh, you were right.
Yes, it happens all the time. But I can say with working with a chiropractor, it helps, because if the doctor says it, they will believe you. I've had several clients that I have pointed in his direction, and I've told him that I want to work on the shoulders because that's an issue with the lower back. The client's like, no, I told you to work on my glutes and my, hips and this and that. I'm just like, okay. And then he has to tell them that that's what he wants them to work on, and then they will believe me. Just the way it works.
So, because I kind of want to circle back to something real quick. Given the fact that you've been out in Germany, in the Netherlands, and other parts of the world, learning massage therapy, I know for a fact you've definitely added on different cultural practices and incorporating that into your toolkit, your repertoire, your expertise. Can you elaborate if it has happened? There are parts of other cultural medicine that you adapted into your practice.
I did serve in Europe quite a bit, and I haven't been to Asia quite yet. But I do incorporate gua sha into my practice, which is a type of scraping. So a lot of chiropractors do scraping. They usually use the Grafton method. So it's with a metal tool, and they scrape different areas of the muscle, which allows sha to come up, and then your body gets really, really hot, and then it lets go of all of the toxins and all of that kind of stuff. But it's a little bit different. I actually use a soup spoon. This is interesting. I can show you downstairs. It is an Asian soup spoon. The Asian modality actually calls not for any particular method. Like, you can use a bottle top, you can use a mason jar top, you can use anything. But when I went to school, they suggested that you use a soup spoon because it's better on my thumbs. I remember my thumbs bent backwards.
Yeah, you can bring it backwards.
Hard to hold on and push this way. And when you're using a lot of pressure to use the scraping, it causes a lot of pressure on my joints. But I absolutely love that method. This is one of the methods that you have to use after you've done deep tissue.
Yeah.
It's one of the last things that you do. I should say cupping. I guess that's more of Western medicine, which would be United States. There's fire cupping. I don't do fire cupping.
That's where they put like the little candle fire and they put like a glass cup over that?
Yeah, they do.
So what is that supposed to do?
So cupping is, imagine it as sucking up the knot from under the bottom, inverted pressure or negative pressure.
Okay.
So I'm pushing on the top part, but I can't get to the bottom, right? So imagine there's a really big knot at the bottom and I want to get to it. So I can put this negative pressure there. For mine, I actually use a suction cup, and then I squeeze all the air out so it suctions the skin up like about this far.
Okay.
And then that actually sucks up the knot from the bottom. So then it makes it easier to get all the rest of the knots out. It actually helps me use less pressure on my own joints trying to get the rest of them out.
You save yourself some years, right?
Yes.
So after the suction comes up, what do you do from there?
So you have a gigantic circle.
You got like a big bulge of whatever that is.
That only stays there if the suction cup is actually there. So there's a couple of different things that you should notice. The color of the cupping is a main thing. So if you don't have any tension there, but being a massage therapist for a while, I will know whether you have a knot there or not. But if it's pink or if it's regular brown, you won't have any issues. If it is dark purple, red on any type
purple
of skin.
Purple was the color in my head.
Yeah, that means that you have a lot of tension there and that area needs to be worked out. So if you go to a place and you don't have any coloring at all, and the coloring is not painful, like your skin might be a little tender, but it's not supposed to feel like a bruise. It will look like a bruise.
Yeah.
As you know, like, I don't know if you ever remember Michael Phelps having like all these circles over his body. They're not painful, but they are, I don't know, they look pretty bad.
They look pretty bad.
Yeah.
They look very bad.
They're very, very beneficial to just working up the knots from under the bottom.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So in a way, it sounds kind of therapeutic when you talk about it. Would you say massaging is therapeutic for you as it is for your clients?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, like, this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
If I don't do massage, I literally don't feel well. And I don't know, I think I told you, during COVID, we were shut down for about 9 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I purchased a new dog from one of the rescues, and I was massaging the dog. You can probably find a video of me massaging her for the first time on my Facebook page. I have to massage someone. I have to fix someone. Like, this is just my lot in life. I don't feel great until I have made somebody else feel better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Such a caring person.
Thank you.
You have a caring spirit. I like that about you.
Thank you.
I guess this one is a two-part question. The first part is, what are some of the reactions that you get from your clients that let you know that you've done your job very well?
The main one is that I have magic hands. I've had a lot of clients that say they really like that I care. Like, a lot of massage therapists just treat it as a job, and they give people the same massage each time. Like, each person doesn't need the same massage. It needs to be customized to them. So they are just very happy and very grateful that I've customized it to them, that I actually care that they graduate and not just come back for money or just come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I told you I have this one client who, if I, don't do a well enough job, I'm characterized as a turtle. Yeah. And then I'm characterized as a goat if I do amazingly well. But if I do mediocre that day, I'm categorized as a penguin, like the penguin on your hat. So, yeah. But mainly, since I've been doing this for almost 17 years, I know my job. This is what I've been meant to do. God gave me this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heal people. I mean, they are very grateful. That is my job.
So the second part, it leads into the second part. Okay. And the second part of this question is, what is a testimony from a client that stuck with you this whole time?
Oh my goodness. I don't have any clients recently that have written anything down. It was just that one client that I've had most recently. It doesn't necessarily have to be written. It could be told. It could be told about you, or it literally anything. But it's something that stuck with you so much, it kind of left a really good impression on you. Well, it was one of my most recent clients from the chiropractor that he referred to me. Okay. And after the first session, she could tell the difference. Like, most of these people have been to other massage therapists, other chiropractors, and they have just not gotten any results. Or you can tell that the person doesn't care about your well-being. They're just doing their job. Right. For me, of course, it's very different. And then after her third session, she could tell a huge difference. Like, I could tell the different things that were going on with her, and I really wanted her to feel better. Like, her well-being was my greatest thought. And she cried, and she was just saying how she was just so impressed and so grateful that I actually cared, that she felt better, that she wanted to be better. So, yeah. How'd that make you feel? Made me feel amazing. Like, I'm doing what God told me to do. Like, this, it's confirmation that I'm in the right spot. Mm-hmm.
What would you say is some of the biggest? I think I've asked this question already, but across your entire journey, what are some of the biggest challenges you've personally faced?
Um, Biggest challenges. I would say starting my business over more than 3 or 4 times. Um, that's just the biggest thing, just starting over. But being a good massage therapist is never going to keep you down. It just takes time to find your people again.
Yeah.
But I mean, no matter what happens, I'm going to be pliable and I'm going to make it no matter how many times I start over. So that's just the biggest thing.
So, doctor, I'm kidding. But you did mention before how you feel like massage therapy is getting better in your community, but it's not necessarily where you feel like it should be. So how do you feel that massage therapy can help change the community, and what do you think needs to, in your eyes at least, what do you think needs to happen in order for them to get to that next level?
Okay, so twofold. I will say that in the Black community, massage therapy is seen as a luxury and not so much the medical side that it should be seen as. Massage therapy, chiropractic, and physical therapy, they don't necessarily have to be prescribed by the doctor before you actually go take care of yourself. They should be seen as preventative care, and they should help you along to figure out I'm not going to say diagnosis, but they can help you find out what's actually going on before you get a surgery or before you need, I guess, more important care. I feel like all the other countries that I have worked with, they take care of people throughout the insurance. They pay for it. They pay for massage therapy. They pay for chiropractic. They pay for PT. But this country in particular, we've now started getting into maybe Blue Cross Blue Shield pays for it, or just certain people who pay a lot of money for insurance pays for it. And they're seeing the most benefits from their healthcare. Like, they're not having to have as many surgeries. They're not having to do all of these things. This is from my standpoint.
Which is great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just feel like it should be the first step in your care before you go do other things. And hopefully the insurance companies will catch up to where, we are the preventative care. We'll see.
Do you think you should one day be seen as a doctor?
No. I would love to be a doctor one day. Like I said, I feel like I was supposed to be a chiropractor, but I'm so little. And after seeing what my chiropractor friend goes through and the amount of pressure and stamina it takes, seeing,
it's
hundreds of people per day.
I can tell it can be very taxing. How many clients have you had in the same day?
So I used to work 5 days a week. No, actually 6 days a week. Okay. Sunday through Friday. And that was about 5 people per day.
5 people per day?
Yes. And most of those were 90 minutes.
90 minutes?
Yes. I like to see my clients for 90 minutes. I don't prefer to see them for 1 hour. Like, I like to work on the whole body.
Okay.
Some people I see for 2 hours. But
the amount of physical labor that takes a toll on you.
It's a lot.
For 90 minutes? For 5 clients a day?
Yes, I've dialed it back to 5 days a week.
Yo.
So 4 clients a day. So mind you, I am an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
So I also have to call back the clients who want appointments. I also have to do the billing. I have to do the cleaning. I have to do the advertising. I have to do the laundry, which takes hours and hours per day. Yeah. I have to do everything. So it's not just hands-on hours for me. I also have to do the 6 hands-on hours, as well as at least another 4 or 5 hours of the rest of the business.
I can imagine that can be draining for you.
Mm-hmm. It does. Especially when you're a single mother as well. So
what do you do to counter that and keep yourself motivated and disciplined to continue doing this every day?
I get my massages at least once a month, and then I get an adjustment once a week.
Okay. That was actually going to be my next question. Because I kind of see it almost like a therapist in a way, where you're assisting other people, but even the therapist, they also need therapy.
I go to
yeah.
therapy too.
So that was gonna be my question. My next question, like, do you, as a massage therapist, do you have somebody that you go to
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot? So I think that's good that that's included in your self-care in a way.
It has to be, otherwise you'll have burnout very quickly. Because not only do people, they're technically not supposed to talk to us about all of these things. Like, we want them to relax and, enjoy their therapeutic massage. But sometimes people just want to vent. Sometimes people just want to talk to you. So you have to take all of that on.
Yeah.
For me, I only have a certain amount of people that I can see per day and talk to them and internalize all of their stuff before I start to get drained myself, because I still have to deal with my own life. You imagine 4 or 5 people per day, 5 days a week. It's going to be very draining. So I have to have my own therapist too, because I'm listening to all of their things, and I can feel it all. So,
in a way, that's kind of like a twofold, right? Like, when they talk about it, it's almost like you could see the muscles reacting to it. So it's like it kind of gives you a better insight. It's, okay, I know where to go here. But at the same time, it's when the more they talk about it, it's draining you at the same time.
That's true, but the more they talk about it, they're giving me insight on their life, all of the issues that they're having. They're telling me what their jobs are. They're telling me what their personal lives are. They're telling me whether they're working in the garden. Like, I'm picking up on all of these little tidbits, and I'm doing all of this math and calculating in my head on how I can better fix them. So it works very well for me.
That's cool. So when do you have like a harsh limit to them sharing their lives, or to a point where it's like, okay, we're gonna have to stop you here?
Ethically, there is a harsh limit. Like, I should say there is a harsh limit, but if someone wants to express and just keep talking, I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try not to internalize it. But ethically, with massage therapists, we're supposed to like say, no, you can just, be quiet through this time. But some people literally come to me just to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need to come for a massage, but they just like to talk.
Yeah.
That's just me personally as a massage therapist.
That's a both worlds type deal.
Yes.
Then. Cool.
Yeah.
So, now that you're back home in Apex.
Well, I'm not home.
Well, not home.
From Sumter, South Carolina.
Right. But home for now.
Okay.
For now. What do you mainly do to get your brand, get your name out there?
I do a lot of work with No Show Hero, which is a Facebook group, and they work with massage therapists and they work with hairstylists, lots of people in this area. It's predominantly like a woman-owned group. And so you can go there and then find out all of the, I guess it's cancellation appointments that are available in this area for women.
Yeah.
I work on Facebook. I work with Instagram, just specific things like that. Sometimes I do teacher appreciation days, work for the church. Yeah. But me personally, I don't need to advertise anymore for myself, for, all of the people that I work with.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah. But I still want to, fill the rest of my, staff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, Amber, that was great. I learned a lot. I even managed to, I guess, what's the word? Hold on to some of the terminology you've used. And I'm probably going to go home and do a lot more research now. Okay. Now that I heard a lot of these names, I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Okay, point to a muscle. Point to a muscle.
Okay. I'm going to point to this one because you got on me. You got on me last time.
Oh, this one.
Point to this one.
Already Alice. Okay, point to one more, maybe even a bone. Let's be out there.
Let's do
the tricep.
I know. Okay, all right. Let's do something.
What about
different.
this one? Like, most people don't know about this one here.
I was actually going to point to that.
So that is a gastrocnemius.
Right here?
Yeah. So there's 2 bellies of it. So gastrocnemius here, and then on the other side, it's known as your calf.
What does that entail? Well,
I mean, if you want to walk, you kind of need it.
True. I mean, I do want to walk.
Yeah.
I got to get around.
You like, running and stuff. So it's important.
Very true.
Yeah.
What about on the inside of the foot? Like on the side of it? Like so where the foot kind of curves?
Your arch?
Yeah, the arch. What about that?
I don't know what that muscle's called. I have to look it up.
See, I got you
I'm,
now.
I'm thinking whether it's a muscle or a tendon.
got you
Don't
now.
let the chiropractor know.
Where's his number so I can call him? No, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
I'll give it to you afterward.
I was kidding.
Okay.
So we got one more segment.
Okay.
It's a little more fun. We started doing this recently, where we basically just take a card, we ask it out to each other, and then we answer it.
Okay.
And it's called Unpack. It's called Unpack That. And this is particularly my game because I guess I've been told I've been saying let's unpack that a lot.
Okay.
So let's unpack.
So you cannot say I unpack that. Let me just get a good card, please.
I'll give you 2 free redos.
Okay.
Since it's just us.
Oh my, they're upside down now, so I can't see.
That's right.
Oh no, I don't want that one.
You didn't even read it yet.
No.
You didn't even read it.
Okay, so I want you to ask.
Okay. How has your sense of purpose evolved over time?
Well, I would say my sense of purpose has always been the same since I have known I was always supposed to be a massage therapist and fix people. How about yours?
For me, I feel like my sense of purpose has evolved. It's expanded.
Okay.
For me, I have what I know I want to do and what I like to do. And I feel like because as I get older, as I get more involved in the industry, I guess it kind of becomes more streamlined on how that I should do it.
Okay, you gotta actually break it down. You're not really telling me exactly what you do.
Okay. So, I'm an actor.
Okay.
My purpose is to create stories that brings people together. For me, I feel like the best way for people to understand and work cohesively is to put them in a situation or in a time to where all they have to do is talk.
Okay.
And by talking, you get to learn see each other, you get to learn how to understand each other. And once that mutual understanding comes, now you can start making steps on how to progress as a collective.
Okay.
So, as an actor, I like to use acting as my way of creating those stories. As time has moved forward, going to school, being involved in projects, directors, producers, other actors, I see how my purpose is not just into acting, it's also into writing, it's into directing and producing, is in a way leading and guiding people to create the foundation to make sure the storytelling incites and encourages that particular conversation.
And have your own radio show.
I guess having a radio show is going to be included in there somewhere. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. If that's what God wants for me, then that's what I will do.
You have to speak it into existence.
You do. Yeah. All right, that's one. How many are we going to do?
Another one?
We're going to do 2.
Okay.
We're going to do, this is a 1.
Times.
We're going to do one more.
Okay, one more.
One more.
This was fast one.
Purpose and reflection?
Yes.
All right.
No family.
No family? All right. We got grief and healing, resilience and empowerment, relationships and self-perception.
Okay.
You're going to pick family.
What emotions are the hardest to express for me to others, and why? I hate giving people bad news. I hate being mean, honestly. I feel like the biggest thing is just giving people bad news because I'm an encourager. So I like to do the compliment sandwich. Give them a couple of bad things and one good thing.
Do you believe that giving them the bad news can be encouraging?
If I know them, to a certain extent, of course, but you have to have rapport with someone before you just give them horrible news. It's not really necessary. I mean, you can help them grow, yes, but you don't want to go ahead and just knock them down completely if you don't have any attachment to them. I don't see it as necessary.
I think in that regard, it really is determined on how you approach that.
I'm not corporate, so it's a little bit different for me. For people who work in corporate, they're probably used to that type of thing. But with my business, I get to know people. Yeah. So
I get that. And I feel like, I guess for me to answer that, what's hardest for you to express to others and what emotions are the hardest for you to express to others? I don't know. I don't think I have any that are harder to express. So
you're okay with just breaking people down?
Not really breaking. One thing I've learned when it comes to communicating with people, especially since I have to work with people like all the time, and also self-reflecting a lot, doing a lot of self-reflecting and observing not only with how I interact with others, but how other people interact with each other. One of the biggest problems that I see mostly and consistently is not so what they're saying, but they are highlighting the wrong thing. Okay. So in a way, let's say you and I are in a conversation and maybe I did something that really upset you. The problem isn't the fact that you're upset. That's not the problem. The problem is how it's communicated about how you're upset. So from what I've observed, a lot of people will say, "You hurt me. You." Like they put all of the effort and emphasis behind the person and not the action. Okay. So instead of saying "you hurt me," you could say, "Hey, this hurt me. That what you did hurt me." I'm highlighting the action itself. Because now that we're highlighting the action and not the person, I don't have to get defensive. I can better see it from your perspective because it's not about me, it's about the cause. And I think that's something that I believe that is what made it a lot easier for me to express emotions.
So you don't think it's about how people say things?
What do you mean?
So you're just saying it's about what is being said, how about how they say it?
I believe it's a mix of both, but I believe it's that more so now. Okay. But then again, everybody's case is different, so I can't really put a whole blanket over that. It's just that's what I'm seeing more often now than ever. Okay. But that was good.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Yeah. So I guess I have one more thing I need you to do for me.
Oh my goodness, what are we doing now?
It's a surprise. So for our viewers and for people who are going to see this, who either want to be massage therapists later on in life, what is one advice you would give them? Talk to them.
Don't work for anybody else. Work for yourself or work for someone like me so they will actually teach you how to become a better entrepreneur. And of course, I don't expect you to work for me forever. I want you to grow and do your own thing.
What would you say is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Okay, for Facebook, it's Amber Massages NC. Okay. And on Instagram, it's amber.massages.
All right, perfect.
Thank you.
That actually concludes our interview. Yay. You did such a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see all the progress that's in store for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, guys, once again, this is Visually Speaking. I am Kyle, and I'm here with
Amber Anderson with Amber Massages.
And we're out.